It can be very frustrating when you have a desire in your heart to do something for yourself or others, and the one thing standing in the way of you achieving that goal is lack of resources. I want to encourage you, do not give up. In today's video, I'll give you a step-by-step guide on how to access resources that will help you achieve your goals faster and easier. When you have access to the right resources, you tend to work smarter and not just harder. Now, when resources are mentioned, our minds quickly go to money. Yes, we're going to talk about money in today's video, but there is more to resources than just money. So first things first, what is a resource? A resource is a source of supply, support, or aid, especially one that can be readily drawn upon when needed. Another definition says it's a stock of supply of money, materials, staff, and other assets that can be drawn upon by a person or organization in order to function effectively. Now, the type of resources we are referring to in this video can be grouped in two categories: the internal and the external resources. Internal resources are things like knowledge, information, habits, skills, mindsets. And external resources could be things like time, money, possessions, gadgets, books, people, technology. Now that we have this understanding, let us quickly get into the first step, which is to identify your goals. And you have to be very specific about them. If you are vague, it will be very difficult for you to identify what resources you need to achieve that goal. If you do not even know what you want, then what resources are you looking for? Or if it is so vague, somebody could say, I just want to be a big businessman by the end of the year. What does a big businessman need? Somebody may not even know what to offer you or how to help you if you do not have a specific goal written down. The next two steps that I'm going to share are very vital, and so I'll plead with you to pay special attention. The second is to count the cost. Who goes on a journey, starts building a house, starts a project without first counting the cost? You may be surprised, but there are so many people who will tell you they lack the resources to pursue their dreams. But if you were to ask them what are these resources, they will not be able to tell you anything specific. If somebody were to drop a genie here with a lamp and say, state your top 3 resources that will help you accomplish your goal, will you be able to come up with that top 3? What is the knowledge that I need, the skill that I need? What type of mindset do I need in order to achieve this goal? What type of habits do I need to, have? And when you go to the external, you ask the same questions. How much money do I need? What are the gadgets that I need? What kind of human support do I need? What kind of technology will I need to achieve this goal? It will be difficult for you to even come up with an effective action plan if you've not counted the cost. This explains why we're unable to pray specific prayers, we're unable to seize opportunities when they come our way, because we do not even identify, we're unable to even identify them as opportunities, as things we need, because we have not identified our resources. What do you need to achieve your career goals? What do you need to become that mom you say you want to be? What is it that you need that will help you to move from a C student to an A student? Do you need more books? Do you need extra classes? Do you need, maybe a better means of transportation to school so that you're early and less tired? It's important that you know the resources that you need to achieve your goals. This third one has been a game changer for me, and that is to identify what you already have that you can work with. All along, you've probably been telling yourself that if only I could be surrounded by the right people like A, or have the right equipment like B, or live in the right location like C, or have all the money that D has, then I would be able to achieve my goals faster. But it doesn't work like that. Their secret ingredients may not be your secret ingredients in this season. And even if all those resources are given to you, you will not have automatic success just because you have the right resources or the right tools. You need more than that. You need to be someone who is resourceful. Tony Robbins said, it's not the lack of resources, but your lack of resourcefulness that causes failure. And what does it mean to be resourceful? Being resourceful means getting the best out of what you have, being able to see potentials and opportunities where others don't. A lot of people unnecessarily delay their start time because they are waiting for all the resources to be in place before they start. What do you have in your hand? Start with what you have in your hand. What are the skills you have? Write it down. What is the knowledge that you've just acquired? Write it down. What are you good at? What are some of those good habits that you have? Write it down. What is the money? How much money do you have? Put it down. What is the support system that you have around you? Put it down. Remember, those are your internal and external resources. By the time you're done with this exercise, you'll be surprised at how much you have that qualifies you to start. This exercise did two things for me. It gave me a lot of clarity. It opened my eyes to see opportunities, things that I could really do with what I had. And the second thing it did for me was that it built confidence. By the time you look at your goals, you look at what you need, and you look at what you have, it builds confidence to say, you know what, while I'm waiting for these other resources, I already have something to get the ball rolling. Another reason why this step is very important is that when you are a resourceful person, you attract your helpers. You often hear people grumble and complain, oh, look at this rich man, he doesn't want to help me. Many times, your helpers want to see a resourceful person. They want to see what are you already doing with what you have. They want to see how much you have stretched, how you are thinking out of the box, how you are trying to flip things over, DIY, just use what you have. You're crying for somebody to help you with some information. What have you already done with the free resources that you have? How much research have you done on the internet? Before you're coming to get more information, I feel that you should already have some basic information, especially if it is free out there, so that somebody can just add to it. What have you already done with the little money you have before you're asking for more? What have you done with the skill that you have, the knowledge that you have before you're seeking for more? Do something with what you have and it will attract your helpers. I see people with amazing phones, like these gadgets, and all they use it is to take selfies and scroll through social media. Let me tell you, you're walking around with a treasure. Just with your phone, you can do research, you can contact people, you can apply for grants, you can do so much with your phone. In fact, I can go on and on to tell you the things that you can do using just your phone. So there is a lot you can do with what you have. The last but one is to research and plan. Research and make an effective action plan for how you're going to acquire those resources you've just identified that you need, which you don't yet have. In order for this research and planning process to be effective, you have to ask the questions where, how, and when. Let's say money was one of the resources you identified that you lack but you need. Then you have to say, where can I get this money? Money can be gotten from a job, it can be gotten from a side hustle, it can be gotten from maybe a small business or personal loan, it can be gotten from a family or a friend, it can be gotten from grants, it can be gotten from, say, crowdfunding, right? A public funding, maybe a GoFundMe, or you met a public body of people and you shared, that burden, and they're offering you or they're supplying you with the money. So you have to, when you ask yourself these questions, you have now a long list of sources. Which ones, and how am I going to go about it? Like for the example of job, how am I going to use a job, to get money? Which means apply for a job, find what skill you have and what job that you can go for. And maybe you already have a job. The next thing could be that maybe you want to do extra hours so that you can get an extra pay, or maybe you want to work hard for a promotion so that you can get an extra pay. So that is the how that you're asking, and you're putting it down. That's how you're coming up with your action plan. And one thing we have to also notice that at times we do not realize that you can use what you have to also get another resource that you need. That's why it was very important that you should identify what you have. You may have a skill, and then you use that skill to get the money that you need to go fund your business. For example, I need some knowledge, I need to improve on my skills that will help me achieve some of my goals here on YouTube. Now I already have a skill as a nurse. That skill may not directly help me with that resource that I need, but it can indirectly help me in the sense that I can use my nursing skill to go get a job, and that job gives me money. I use the money to go get the other skill that I need to achieve my goal here on YouTube. Another how is to ask for help. Let me tell you, not everybody is selfish or wanting to hide the secret to their success. A lot of people want to share with you, tell you the secret to their success, tell you the mistakes they have made so that you can avoid. In fact, just guide you on the path you should follow. So all you have to do is ask. You know, there is a project, that I'm working on, and I got a little bit tight somewhere, and I was like, you know, what is the next step? And then I came across someone who is doing something very similar and is way ahead in the process than I am. I was able to approach them and I got the help that I needed. So there are a lot of people out there who are willing, are ready to share their own experiences to help you, and all you have to do is ask. Of course, we have to be wise. You apply a lot of wisdom, you know, when asking. I made a video a long time ago about what we should consider before asking for help, but the truth is that when you ask, you receive. And even if you do not receive, you really don't have much to lose. And this last one crowns it all. Believe that it's possible. I recently shared in a video that it would be very difficult for you to go past what you believe is possible. I love this quote by Nelson Mandela that it's impossible until it's done. And you know what this quote did for me? I told myself that, okay, it seems impossible until it's done. So let me look for those people who have done it, who have proven that it was impossible, but now it has been done. Let them inspire me. Let them motivate me. Let them be like a role model for me to know that, it's possible. That's why I would encourage you that when you see people succeeding around you, especially in the area where you want to succeed, in the area of that goal that you want to achieve, do not allow envy, jealousy, comparison to step in. Yes, those negative energies will often knock at the door, but don't open it. Instead, open door for excitement, open door for hope, open door for role modeling. Like, oh, these are role models. If they could do it, then if I apply the right principles, it can also happen for me. It seems impossible until it's done. You have to start changing the internal dialogue that is happening within you. Maybe that negative internal dialogue or limiting beliefs is coming from past experiences, past failures, past mistakes. Leave that behind. Learn from them. And then, change that dialogue and start moving forward, saying that it's possible. I can change my financial story. If knowledge is the resource that you need, I'm going to acquire this knowledge. Maybe it's formal education, maybe it's informal education. I am able to acquire it. Maybe it's a skill. Maybe you're looking at yourself like, I can't, I can't do this. Now, I'm not saying that if you're a circle, you should try and go force yourself in a square mold, just to prove a point. No, I'm saying that there are capabilities for you as a circle that you may not be seeing it. Stop telling yourself that nobody likes me, nobody's ever around me, I don't think I can ever have a support system. Start believing that it's possible, that I'm able to build an amazing support system around me. It may not look like everybody else's, but it's going to be sufficient for me. You have to start changing all that internal dialogue and see it differently, and not just not just stay in that zone of positive thinking. That's why I gave all these steps and what we should do. But when you change the internal dialogue, it builds a certain momentum inside of you, and you are able to follow through with these things, not doubting. When you follow it with confidence, with assurance, then obstacles, when they show up, you are more likely to overcome them, instead of giving up, instead of throwing the towel and running away when roadblocks come, because they will come. So change your internal dialogue and start to believe that it is possible.